right, it's September 6th and it's Life Journal Jumpstart. Thank you so much for being here. I'm John Burgess and we're going to continue in Ezekiel 29 through 32 and Revelation chapter 11. Now, Ezekiel describes how Israel was leaning on Egypt for help, and it wasn't right for them to do so, and God wanted them to lean on Him. And in fact, the prophet Jeremiah says if you lean on Egypt, it'll be like a broken reed and it'll pierce your hand. Just picture that, because even though a reed looks strong, it's not a staff at all, and all those splinters just going into their hand. And that's actually what we read about going on here. Anything that you and I lean on other than the Lord will pierce us through. Even if it looks strong at the beginning. That's any other relationship, any other scheme, any other idea. It'll break you and we'll end up falling. But if we lean on the Lord and His strength, as God was calling His people back to do, then we will be held up even in the middle of trials and tribulations. Revelation chapter 11 it may give us a shock to see that the Bible describes any city by the name of Sodom and Egypt. Sodom, of course, was the city that God destroyed because of its wicked acts in the time of Abraham. You can read about it in Genesis chapter 19. And Egypt is the country where God's people lived as slaves at the time of Moses. You can read about it in Exodus 1, 8 through 14. Therefore, John is describing a city whose inhabitants have chosen to oppose God's people in a wicked and cruel manner. And in fact, Revelation 11 verse 8 could be kind of a word picture for the whole world, because the whole world is responsible for Christ's death. In the same manner, the whole world will be responsible for the death of the two prophetic witnesses, and people across the world will be celebrating at their death just as they did at Christ's death. Many people say that the aim of life is to be happy. I mean, we hear that everywhere. And they can imagine nothing better than for everyone to be happy. However, it is possible to make people happy even in very cruel and wicked things. If happiness is our goal, then we're going to end up rejoicing in those things that the Lord considers evil. If holiness is our goal, to follow Christ, then we will be able to experience seasons of happiness, but we're not going to be rejoicing in the wrong things. And so maybe it's just a chance for you to examine your heart and say, is my goal happiness or holiness? It's a good distinction to make as we seek the Lord together. Thanks for your time. I'll see you tomorrow.